Hello and welcome to world's new edition of personal finance. Again, this is inspired by our dog Walt to make it very simple and understandable for all of you. And we will be doing some very small one. Walt will appreciate if you subscribe and share or give any comment for any kind of features you have, any kind of new things you want, any kind of ideas you have. Let him go over here. So today's topic I was thinking is just to give you some idea about net worth. Now, what is net worth? So this is actually is plain and simple asset minus liabilities. Now, what is this thing? Again, this is a simple thing to understand. If you really talk about what is net worth, a lot of times I've seen like people really do not understand this topic very well. The whole purpose is now, why do I care for net worth? Simple thing. If you really want to go, let's say, to a bank and ask for a loan, will they give you any kind of money at all? What exactly is determined? Or it's a very critical thing to basically understand your worth, just like whether if I take a pen, is it worth $1 or is it worth $10? Is it worth $50 or something? Whether I get a duster and that's basically or eraser, it's basically again the same kind of thing. Does it worth what it takes, basically what you are basically doing there? So one of the things we really need to understand is, in order to do that, what is an asset and what is the liability. Now, asset could be a lot of things. So first, plain and simple, asset is part of it is cash. So cash. So let's say I'm just giving a simple example. I have $10,000 or 10,000 rupees in my bank. Okay, that is part of my asset. Asset could be other things too. I will go into other kind of asset. Asset could be, let's say, I own a house. Okay, so movable, immovable, or liquid, illiquid. So let's say this house is worth 100,000. So my asset value contains cash plus, let's say I have a house, that thing. I have some level of investment, let's say, correct? So investment, let's say I put the money in a stock market, and then the stock market, I probably that, let's say I have $50,000 in it, okay? So that is also the positive side of it, correct? So I can have cash amount, which is really liquid money. I can have some kind of immovable or those type of values, which is house. Or even if, let's say I consider, let's say I have inherited something, that is also part of the things probably you have it. Anything you have liquid, illiquid, movable, immovable. Investment also could be movable, immovable, like I can put the money in CD, I can have a value, it's the stock market, I can have in different forms, correct? So that's basically is, or even let's say I have a car. A car also, let's say I have a $20,000 car. So again, this is basically is my asset part of it. Now, in the other side of it, the comes is the liability. The liability could be your credit card, alright? So let's say in order to get the house, I have a mortgage, correct? Mortgage is something like a liability, and I have, let's say, $80,000 in liability, correct? So remember, if we talked about equity, If you want to see the other videos for what equity is, please go ahead and check that thing. I have already other video for it. I will have more detail if you want. Please also listen to the end of it, because then only you will really understand all the pieces together. So effectively here, my equity, what we talked about before, is $20,000, right? Similarly, let's say this is my investment. This investment is basically completely, let's say, in CD. So there is no liability. Okay, so effectively my equity over here is 50,000, correct? So this is kind of the way you really need to think. So here, even if you have a house which in today's market price is 100,000, if you have a mortgage, your actual equity value is this minus this, correct? Similarly, if you have some investment, but this is completely your money, you basically, it's after this thing you invested, so you basically can see that this is the total money is like the 50,000, the whole thing. Now let's say same thing goes in car. You have like $20,000 this thing, of which let's say you have a car loan and you have a pending, let's say $8,000 as of now. So you literally have this minus this, that is what is your equity, correct? So effectively same way. Now cash, of course, cash is like this thing. So if I really consider, this is actually the equity again, correct? So if I really need to now consider, based on all this thing, correct, what is my net worth? My net worth is this asset total, which is 100 and this is 70, so let's say 180,000 minus, let's say this is, what did I say? Okay, 80,000, 12,000. So take all this thing off. So it would be 80,000, 90,000, 140. So minus 152,000, correct? So which is effectively whatever is the amount. So it would be like 28,000. Okay, this is effectively is my net worth. Again, in order to, like, let me repeat it one more time. Net worth is nothing but asset minus liability, as simple as that. Asset is what you hold, inherit, or whatever what you have, and that can be in different form. That can be liquid or illiquid, all right? Movable, immovable, whatever it is. You take that total amount all the time. You take, like, as I said, cash. There is no loan you have taken, that is it. If you take a house, that's over here, correct? If you take an investment over here, then this much is it. If you take a car, you are this it. Now there could be one topic I probably missed. There probably is, let's say, a lot of people in today's world goes like a credit card debt, correct? So credit card is nothing but a debt, it's a liability. So you literally get nothing here. Let's say I also have $10,000 credit card debt, correct? You have heard all those things, right? So that effectively means it goes against the liability part, correct? So effectively this will go down to from 142, 52 to 142, because this value is going to go up, correct? So asset, now again, why do you care for the asset part of it? Asset you can inherit from people too, correct? Asset it can you accumulate with time. But also remember, some of them is also people level. Meaning, let's say house price. Today, let's say you go to a bank and try to basically get somebody to give a loan. They will basically ask for how much actual equity you have. Now this value, as of today, probably you have 100,000, correct? So that's why your equity is 20,000. Tomorrow it may go down and it could be like 70,000. Then your equity is actually negative. So your asset value actually will go down. So your net worth also is dynamic. It is a snapshot of yours. So at a particular time of you have This is basically what is your net worth. So you have to understand that thing. We can get into more in each and every topic of it in details. Particularly, we will do, most people have a lot of issues on credit card. We will have one episode on credit card and we will go from there, correct? Now, just for a trivia questions, I want to ask one question. Let's say if you are in US or in India, do you know what net worth you have to have in order to get the top 10% of your population? Again, give me an answer. How much net worth you have to have in order to be top 10% of the population? Let me know in the comments if you get the answer properly. I know in today's world, Google or AI can give you the answer, but it is a good thing to know for where it is. You can have your own lifestyle, I understand that, but it is also good to know, have a benchmark to understand what exactly net worth is. So in US, let's say, how much money you have to go? I will give you the answer in the comments if anybody gives the comments. How much you basically can need to make, or your net worth should be, so that you are in the top 10% of the population. Hopefully you understand the thing. If you don't understand the question, please give me a comments. Walt will really appreciate it too. And hopefully have a good day. Please share, subscribe. This will basically give us the incentive to go further, and give us a comment. Thank you. Bye.